All right, bonus, take one. Hi, colleagues. So if you are seeing this video, that means either you skipped ahead or you made it this far, in which case, congratulations. And I'm going to show you how to use ChatGTP to outline all your Christian education. Now, again, this is general Christian education, basically Bible study based. And as you play around, you'll be able to see how you can tweak certain things. But in general, if you're just looking for a basic Christian education, we can add this to the bag as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and you will be able to see where we're going. Again, this is like super exciting and also super funky and super scary, but it is happening. And I cannot stress that enough that this is real, right? And this is the reality we live in. So how do we as clergy shape and mold this and use it as a tool and as a cautionary tale? So I'm going to go ahead in our spreadsheet, the Livity AI for Worship Planning Liturgical Year B. And we see the lectionary, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the second Sunday in Advent. I'm going to go Mark 1, verses 1 through 8. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to go into ChatGTP, and I'm going to ask it to please write a lesson plan for high school youth on the Mark, and I pasted that in there, passage. And let's see what the general AI has to do for us. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh. Ah, there's a lot of people on this software right now. So as you can see, it is completely breaking down a lesson plan specific for high school youth. You have your objective, that students be able to understand and interpret the Markan passage. Yeah, the students will be able to identify the main themes and messages, the materials that you'll need, the introduction, the direct instruction, down to the minutes, y'all. Again, this is saving you a ton of time, saving your Christian educators a ton of time. And as you can tell, you'll still need your theological training, right? Because there's a certain amount of depth. So this is, as you can tell, ChatGTP at this point is basically helping you augment the mundane tasks to make them that much easier. So that way you can get to the creative parts of your work. But it's already down to the discussion. It's already down to the conclusion. It's thinking. It's thinking. Encourage students to continue exploring the Book of Mark and other passages in, we're going to assume in the Bible. Wait. Oh, in the Bible on their own. And it ends with an assessment. So with this, what you're going to do, we'll tell it thank you. Let's see if it has a response. Just to play with it. It might not say anything at all. So you'll see right at the top, you have Mark 1 verses through 18 lesson plan, and now that is marked. And so it continues conversation saying, you're welcome. I'm glad to get help. Let me know if you have any other questions. So you can do follow-up if you'd like. But for the purposes of our time, so I like to copy from below. So that way I feel like when I do it the opposite direction, it gets a little funky, but copy, paste. And then I'm going to go right into our lesson plan. Voila, I'm pasting, and obviously it's going to have the same color font as is in the software. So I'm going to put that in black. And there you have it, the lesson plan. Now you could obviously adapt and curate this to make it more aesthetically pleasing, but you have your lesson plan. You did a whole, well, ChatGTP did a whole lesson plan within a matter of a few minutes, right? And then you could go ahead and take your Livity Congregational Education Year Planning, go into youth, the second Sunday of Advent, the theme. What is the objective? The theme is, you know what? if you want to be real lazy about it, what is the theme theme of this lesson plan? Watch it go to work. There's a lot of people on this. More people are becoming aware. You could tell based off of the lag time. It's the most lag time I've ever had with this software. Okay, so it's giving us like a analytical oversight of the theme, but we can ask this differently. Um, how, what title would you give this lesson plan? Okay. So let's go with unlocking because that sounds a little bit better. And again, you could play with this, be more creative, or just use your own brain, right? The lesson plan, understanding the Mark 1 passage. So you could say theme, understanding, unlocking the meaning of Mark 1. Obviously, you want to make this reset and just go back and kind of use your brain a little bit, but you don't have to. You could use ChatGTP, but I encourage your brain. Um, Making the way for Jesus in your life, right? That was the theme. Um, Distribute the marked passage, ask them to read them silently. The main characters, ask them if they notice any patterns or themes emerging. Write their responses on the whiteboard, provide additional insights and explanations as necessary. Then divide the class into small groups. Each group discuss the passage in more depth, focusing on the following questions. What are the main themes and messages of the passage? How does the passage relate to the overall message of the book of Mark? How does the passage relate to their own lives and experiences, and allow time for each group to share their insights with the class? Summarize the themes and messages and encourage the students to continue exploring the book of Mark and passages of the Bible on their own, and with a closing prayer and or meditation. And the assessment observes the students during the discussion and take note of their participation and understanding of the passage. Collect students' responses as a form of written assessment. And I will say, I know a lot of Sunday schools don't do this. So I will say one of the things for me as a pastor is I want to know, like, I want to know, are people integrating the teachings, Christian teachings in their lives? So this is part of the reason why I became more of a chaplain. And that's because I at least can we're at least dealing with the integration, the embodiment of Christian teachings. One of the frustrations I have with parish ministry is we do not do culturally a good job, at least on the Protestant side, at least in the Presbyterian Church, in my opinion, of making sure that people are understanding and integrating the material. Like we teach, but then what is the assessment? And I feel like we're one of the only fields in which we teach and there's no assessment afterwards. No testing to see how this shows back up. Like, what is the accountability for the lessons that you learn? Because we want to make sure that you're actually learning them and integrating them, reinforcing the meaning and purpose that's in folks' lives.